What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 26 of the Save Data Cast. I'm your host, David, and on this bi-weekly show, we go over gaming discussion topics. We sometimes talk reviews. We talk about what we're excited about. And this week, we talk about awards. And you might be thinking, David, didn't you do Game of the Year on this show already? Like a few weeks ago? And you're right, we did.
We sure did.
We sure did.
That was a shut up.
But Save Data
pointing out things.
Save Data has not been around for too long, so this week we're gonna go back in time and give some retroactive Game of the Years. And you might also notice, if you're a visual listener, I don't know if you all can hear Raz. I don't know if you all can hear Raz, but he's being very vocal right now. It's very distracting.
I actually can't hear him.
Oh, well, my mic's doing its job, but boy is he fucking loud. We're gonna go back in time. We're gonna do Game of the Years from before Save Data existed, when it was just a twinkle in Zach's eye. And as is tradition, when we go back in time and talk about the greatest games that ever were, Zach's not here. So it's really appropriate. We're going to give these Game of the Years without Zach, and he will not be able to give his opinions, and he's just going to have to suck it up and suffer, probably.
He's going to be probably really mad when he sees some of these. For 2017, we also don't have Chris.
Oh, that's true. We don't have Chris, which might change things. Joining me in this absolute torture for Zach when he's listening to this later is Prij the Fridge Bridgeville.
I have so much less hair than everyone else, than both my guests, than both the other people here.
That's true.
My hair is so much shorter than everyone else's.
I'm
overpowered.
You're keeping cool, like your nickname says. We are also joined by the hockey stick and sickle herself. That's Elise.
Cracking open a Rehab Monster strawberry lemonade. Never had this one before.
A rehab? Rehab?
Monster Rehab.
I don't know what the difference is. Also, this just arrived in the mail, just before we started. I ordered this yesterday.
Y'all be real. Calling it rehab seems like a terrible idea.
I got a new SSD. I'm gonna put this in right after the.
Oh, nice.
The show. 1 terabyte.
Heck yeah.
Half the reason I ordered it was because I need to put Total Warhammer 3 on an SSD because load times in that game are 10 minutes.
I believe that.
Well, it's every time you go into the battle, unless you auto-resolve, you need to load in the entire map and every single army that's there. And it takes a solid bare minimum 3 minutes.
Yeah, and I don't think they preload any of those assets until you hit battle. Otherwise, it's wasting resources.
And that game is 112 gigabytes. So
is it really?
Yeah.
Shit. Well, I was gonna play that tonight. I probably won't now. I will not be able to upload this while that's downloading, I don't think. God. Well, awesome. We've been skipping this a lot lately, but it's just the three of us. Folks, what have you been playing?
Yeah. I can start.
Go ahead.
So I've been playing a lot of Tales of Arise. Been having a lot of fun with that. I think I'm very close to the end, but I unfortunately will have to put it on pause because I'm playing Horizon Forbidden West tomorrow. But I was at a good stopping point because I think I'm at the last free roam section before the final part. So it was a good place to stop, and I didn't want to have to rush to the ending and not do side quests and shit. So I'll get back and finish that once I've platinumed Horizon Forbidden West. And
you're just gonna go straight for the platinum?
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely. God, I'm platinuming Horizon Forbidden West. Of course I am. Absolutely, no doubt about it. And then I've also been playing a lot of Stardew Valley because ever since we did that group stream, I'm like, man, this is fun. I should play some more, and this is my free time. So I've been playing a bunch of Stardew Valley. It's a good game.
Stardew Valley is a fucking great game.
It's a great game.
You're making good life choices.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's pretty much the gist of it.
Hell yeah.
I want you to finish Tales of Arise because I want to see if you like the ending more than me.
Well, fortunately, we'll not be getting there right this second.
It's okay, Prij. After the ending, there's like 10 to 15 hours of post game that you might want to play.
Well, yeah, I went up to one giant tower, and there was a boss that was like level like 60 something. And I'm like, there's no way I'm reaching level 60 something before I beat this game. So I'm like, that's definitely post game. There are some other things that can clearly be post game. So I'm like, yeah, I'm certain I won't be done.
Heck yeah.
Also, and Mackie, finding the Grazer dummies for the final platinum in Horizon Zero Dawn is super annoying. That was probably that. I think that was the last trophy I had to do too.
Yeah,
I ended up going online to find out where the remaining Grazer dummies are.
100% went online. I was like, I don't remember. I remember knocking a bunch down, but I don't remember where the rest.
I actually ended up realizing I had only missed like 3 of the 12 or something, but there was no way I was gonna go run around trying to find them. I just looked it up online and smacked all of them until I got the final 3.
Well, Prij, I also look forward to playing Horizon, but that's like tomorrow. Elise, what you been playing?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Horizon, I played Horizon. Actually,
Nice.
there's a couple games I want to talk about. Quickly knock out. I played a little bit of Lost Ark, probably like 5-6 hours of that. It's fine. It's like Diablo-like. I'm not entirely sold, and games are coming out now, so I'm probably not going to continue with it anytime soon. Played Horizon, Vampire Survivors, and today a little bit of
What is Vampire Survivors? I'm sorry, you got to stop on that one.
Let's go there. I was going to say today a little bit of Warhammer 3. Vampire Survivors is the one I really want to talk about, though, because y'all have talked about Horizon. I like that game a lot. It's basically just the open world formula from, Witcher 3, all the Assassin's Creed games, the thing, but with robot dinosaurs and bows.
Oh, wait. Is Vampire Survivors the thing you posted screenshots from today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because
that game
looked like it was from 1996, and I was like, what is Elise playing? And
I kept meaning to ask when you were posting your trophies and successes from. I'm like, what is this? I'm trying to think of what games this could be.
Let me tell you about Vampire Survivors. Y'all know Castlevania?
Yeah.
Like the original ones? Y'all know roguelikes?
I mean, I don't like them, but yes.
but I know what they are.
Vampire Survivors is this guy that downloaded a NASA pack 3 years or something like 3 years ago that's inspired by Castlevania, and finally created a game out of it. This is a game in early access. You can find it on Steam for $3 Canadian. So dirt cheap. And basically what it is you are on the map, and it's top down, and you've got your weapons, and your weapons fire off automatically. And all you can do is walk in the cardinal directions, while hordes and hordes of enemies just swarm at you. And it's just about every time you level up, you can either upgrade your weapon or get a new one from you get a random list of 4 or 3 or 4, depending on how lucky you are. And it's just about building up your arsenal so that you can survive. 30 minutes is the end, is where you win. I have done a run where I killed in that 30 minutes 40,000 enemies.
Okay.
I mean, I'm looking at some screenshots, and yeah, I can believe it.
It starts off slow. It starts off, there's just like some slow moving bats that die in like 2 damage from whatever weapon you have, like your whip or whatever. But then, like, as you go up, it's like this. In the last couple minutes, the screen is filled with enemies that take like 300 damage to kill, and you need to have a build that can survive that. That can like just kill every single enemy like before they get close to you, or else you will die. And I've done runs where like I win almost every run at this point. But I've done runs where I got to like 29 minutes and 45 seconds and died because I just wasn't ready. But yeah, it's really fun. It's there's still not a whole lot of weapons, and it's pretty easy to like target a specific build, especially once you've got a bit more of the like meta progression, which is pretty minor meta progression, but still. So like the last like 5 runs I've done were almost like identical builds, because it just works so well. But yeah, like it's $3 on Steam. I got it on Sunday, and I have gotten every single achievement, all 46 achievements. I really like it. I think you should check it out. Yeah.
Super quick question. Where on earth did you hear about this game from?
Okay. I first heard it from my friend, as woke sweetie. Was like, hey, I'm playing Vampire Survivors, and like we hopped on call and they showed me like some stream, and then I second heard about it on the Waypoint Radio podcast where Renata talked about it, and I'm like, okay, 2 people talking about this. I need to check this out. It's $3.
That's fair.
I think it blew up with like Northern Lion playing it on Twitch. It's got like,
that makes sense.
Hold on, I'm opening up the Steam page. It's got 39,878 overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam right now.
Shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then.
98% positive. Oh, sorry, that's recent reviews. 43,199.
I mean, it's
still 98% positive total.
J10 came out 2 months ago. Yeah, that's jeezle. Okay, that's cool. I totally just missed my purview, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and I should briefly talk about Total Warhammer 3. I think I mostly just played the tutorial of that, which is like an extended like story length. Probably took me like 5-6 hours, and it really does like go deep into like how do you play a Total War game, and it also has some like pretty tough battles, or at least like stuff I had to think about. It's not just like click here, do this. Yeah, but it's basically, if you've played a Total War game, nothing has fundamentally changed so far. There's a lot of really cool story stuff in that first.
I was gonna say
section.
That's the biggest change that you've mentioned, was that there's an actual like deep story campaign. That's the biggest change for a Total War game.
It's in like the tutorial.
Yeah,
and then like after that, it's pretty like Total War.
Like, I'm sure you can relate to this, but like the Total War series, I love the Total War series too much. Like, too much. And those games do not tell you what's going on well.
No, they do not. I think Warhammer leans into it a little bit more. Like Warhammer 2 did have some story stuff, especially in the Vortex campaign.
Yeah.
Which I played because Mortal Empires is just a better way to play that game. And And Mortal Empires for Total Warhammer 3, yeah. It will be coming at some point, but...
And for context for people listening, that's basically adding all of the content from the past 2 Total Warhammer games into 3 and making a big old mega map.
For me, actually, in Total Warhammer 2, it's not the adding all the content that is the biggest change in Mortal Empires compared to the Vortex campaign, which is like the base campaign. It's that the Vortex campaign is very gimmicky.
It is.
It's very like race to get to the Vortex and do your like little quest thing. Whereas Mortal Empires, you're playing a total war game.
Yep.
You're like, painting the map and doing your victory objectives. That's like, you can play the whole game of Mortal Empires like on the new map or on the old map and never like interact with any of the new stuff or any of the old stuff. It's just like, you're playing a total war game instead of the gimmicky like pseudo story based. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Anyway, that's what I've been playing.
I will be playing at least some of Total Warhammer 3 before our next save data cast, so I'll probably talk about it then. I have not been playing a ton of games the past couple weeks. I've been binging TV shows, but what I have played a bit of Sifu. And folks, I hate Sifu.
I feel like your view on that game has gone down further south every time you mention it.
Oh, it has. So like I played it for a little while the first night it came out. I didn't have a ton of time. I only played it for like 30 minutes, an hour tops. Which was basically like the first level. I guess I'll explain what Sifu is. It's basically a kung fu beat 'em up game that has an aging mechanic and is kind of roguelitey in ways. And surprisingly, the roguelitey stuff is only a small portion of why I hate this game. But basically, there are 4 or 5 different levels in the game, and every time you die, you are given the option to resurrect yourself at the cost of your age increasing. And the more times you die, the faster your age increases. So if you only die, so basically the first time you die, your age only goes up by a year, but then your death counter goes up by 1. Second time you die, your age goes up by 2 years, and then your death counter goes up by 1. And then the third time you die, so it progresses in that way. And then each decade of your life, so you start at 20, once you get up to 70, the next time you die after 70, you permanently die, you have to restart. And as you age, you get better at kung fu, which means you deal more damage, but you're more frail, so you lose max health, which is cool. I was sort of fine with all that. That stuff was fine. The game is hard, but not for good reasons, as far as I'm concerned. So I beat the first level, like my first time through. I didn't fully die going through. I think a lot of you might have watched Chris play it on our first impressions stuff. I think I finished it about maybe a tad younger than him my first shot. I think I was like 37 or something. And once you beat a level at an age...
Oh, that's how old you are in real life, right?
Shut up. Fucker. You're not Carl. You're not that much younger than me.
I'm 1 to 2 years younger than you. I absolutely have no room to talk.
But basically, when you finish a level, that is the age that you will start the next level on. So when I beat the first level at 37, I went into level 2 at age 37. And then it just progresses that way. If you want to start a level at a younger age, you have to go to the level before it and beat it at a younger age. Like I beat the first level at 37, got my ass beat pretty quickly in the second level. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get myself younger. So I went back to the first level, did it a couple times, got my age down to like 25, something like that. And then I went to the second level, and man, the game, the parts that I think are hard and stupid are Dark Souls games. As much as I don't like them, they have consistency, and they're really good at showing, at least from what I've played of like mainly Sekiro, it's really good at visual tells for what's going to happen. And it's very consistent. If a thing staggers an enemy, it's going to always stagger an enemy. Certain attacks. If a enemy makes a certain motion, it means they're going to do a very specific attack, and you know what you need to do. Sifu is not like that. The enemies are not very visually distinct from each other, minus a couple exceptions. Like the big old chunky boys, that's an exception. You know what they're gonna do. And then like there's a few people that are very leggy who kick. So like those are the ones that are the standouts. But among the random other enemies that you fight, like there's so much going on around you too that's really hard to actually tell what's coming. And the camera, it fights you the whole way through. Camera is absolutely garbage in this game. Like PS2, PS3 level garbage camera. It sucks real bad. Like you will just get hit by some random enemy chucking a bottle at you off screen. There's no indicator it's happening. There's no sound that there's a bottle whooshing towards your face. It's just, hey, bottle came from off screen. Whack, you're stunned. Random enemies just beat you to death. Fun game. So that's the type of things that make it difficult that I don't enjoy. I actually, some of the enemies, I don't mind that they're hard. Like the first boss has tells. It's pretty easy to tell what he's gonna do. So like the first boss, I actually like fighting him. It's pretty consistent. It's great. It's the random enemies, and like the second boss, I straight up just didn't know what to do. I got to him and I just died repeatedly. So I was like, I don't know. Like if I hit you, I didn't get like a stagger or anything at any point. So I was like, and by that point, I wasn't having fun. Like with all the things previously, like dying repeatedly, it has a really convoluted leveling up system that I don't enjoy. So like there are certain level ups that you get that are only good for that run, and once your character dies, that's it. And there are other level ups that you spend your experience that you get on that say one of the abilities costs 500 XP to unlock. You can spend 500 XP to unlock it for that run. And then you have to spend 500 XP 5 more times after unlocking that first one to unlock it permanently. Except it doesn't count that first one you did. So if you end up dying, you don't fully unlock the thing. You can make progress. So if you unlock that first bit, which allows you to unlock the 5 times piece, you can spend 1,000 XP on that example, and it'll take 2 of the 5 off of that thing. But on your next life, you have to spend 500 XP to unlock it again, and then 1,500 to finish unlocking it. It's really weird. I didn't like that system. The game is really bad at telling you what you're supposed to do. Like, I didn't feel like it onboarded you at all, which, like, again, it felt a lot like a PS2 game in bad ways to me. Of like, they're just like, oh, you played a game, you know what you're doing. And I'm like, I haven't played this game. I don't know how any of this works. So yeah, I did not enjoy it. And I have not picked it back up since I got to like the end of the second level, and I have had no desire to. Turned on my PS5 to download Horizon yesterday and saw Sifu sitting there and was just like, huh.
Nah. Nah, man, like, that ain't me.
The other only game I've been playing for the past 2 weeks to really give evidence for why Sifu's bad has been Digimon World 2, a PlayStation 1 mystery dungeon game that has some of the worst level progression in any turn-based RPG in the history of existence. You have to like return your Digimon to level 1 to level them up higher. It's stupid. It's
That doesn't seem to make sense.
Basically, each Digimon has a cap at what level they can be, and you have to DNA digivolve them with another Digimon in order to raise that cap. But when you do that, they go back to level 1.
Yeah, it's really bad.
So that's stupid, and I'm playing that over Sifu. So Sifu's bad, is what.
But are you enjoying the wild evolutions?
Dude, Digimon is like the Digimon World series, which Digimon World 2 is the only one that's a mystery dungeon game. I don't know why they did that, but like none of those games are good. Like not a single one. They're just like they're just something you play. They're not good.
They got Digimon cards when I was like 5 years old. By I mean like my
Listen,
brothers.
Digimon is cooler than Pokemon. I'm just gonna say it. The evolutions are cooler. Ooh. They don't have any qualms in just being like, yo, this Digimon's a fucking tank. Its name is Tankmon.
The anime is objectively better, in my opinion.
And the anime is objectively better too. It's just that like the games for Digimon kind of are bad.
Again, I personally think Pokemon's overall better, but the one that I think Digimon is much better on is the anime. Pokemon anime is like it's good for kids, but the Digimon anime actually has like some really, really good series.
Yeah, Digimon anime is good, and like Digimon can talk and therefore have personalities more than Pokemon do. And that's true in the games as well. Like the Digimon talk in the games too, which makes you capturing them and having them fight a little more fucked up. And by a little, I mean a lot. But yeah, the games are bad.
Mr. Mime.
Yeah, the games for Digimon are bad, but I feel like most of the concepts around Digimon are better. And that's kind of where I'm at. But enough of Digimon. That series doesn't really matter in the modern day. Let's talk about some retroactive Game of the Years that will not include a Digimon game. I guarantee that. Not a single one on this list.
Tragic.
I sure don't have one on my list.
So, folks, well, I talked about this in the beginning of the show, but we want to go back to before save data existed, do some Game of the Years, which means no Game of the Year 2021. We did 2020 as around the controller, so we're going to skip 2020 as well. We're going back to 2019, and we're just going to go back until we feel like stopping. Whether that be time, being exhausted of this, whatever. We're just going to stop at some point.
We've all come to hate each other too much for our opinions.
Look, I got 22 of these, so.
Oh, yeah, Elise went back pretty far. So we're going to start with 2019. Also, I'm using, you'll hear me reference things voted Game of the Year. I'm using GameAwards.net as a fantastic source for historical Game of the Year data. They cover basically...
I dropped the link in the chat.
Oh, thank you. They cover
in case you want to glance at this as well.
Perfect. They cover which games got Game of the Year from the most outlets. So it's not just like it was Jeff Keighley's Game Awards winner. We can talk about that. So starting with 2019, the overall Game of the Year winner, which I hate saying these words, was Death Stranding.
Vomit?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I must have
straight up vomit.
Just skipped right by it.
Yeah, overall.
So I used the site to make my list.
Overall, Death Stranding.
Right by that.
I will say it was close. 118 outlets said Death Stranding, 93 said RE2 Remake, and 85 said Sekiro. And Sekiro did win the Game Awards Game of the Year.
Yeah, Sekiro did win that Game Award.
Awards. Fuck Death Stranding. That game was garbage. I love Kojima. That was a bad game. Absolutely garbage. Prij, I have a feeling, and by feeling I mean I 100% think I know what you're going to choose for this.
Yeah, I mean it should be pretty obvious what I'm going to choose. To be fair, there are three there are 3 games on here I really love, and several more that I think are at least way more worthy than Death Stranding.
Every single game other than Death Stranding on this list, other than FIFA 20, deserves it more than Death Stranding does.
Okay, that's fair.
Come on, David.
Well, there are
you know
several
what I'm
games I
gonna
think are
pick
worthy
too,
of
right?
it this year, but yeah, I mean, my pick, as you can probably guess, was Three Houses, which got the fan vote for Game of the Year at the Keeley Awards.
Oh,
Three
true.
Houses is like such a good game.
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah.
Elise,
David, you know what mine is.
I'm pretty sure I know what
Come
yours
on.
is, but
I know what Elise's is.
I'm pretty sure I know, but also there's a lot of good choices in 2019.
Yeah, there were.
Actually, it's a really close race for second, or at least like it's pretty close for second. But first, it's got to be Outer Wilds.
Yeah.
Like Outer Wilds it's like competing for my top game of all time with a game from 2005
that we might get to.
Maybe. Also,
If
at
you
least you can
listen
just
to this
say
show
it. It's
for
Kingdom
more than-
Hearts 2. We all know what it is. You know, if you're like a mysterious game from 2005, at least we know it's Kingdom Hearts 2. It's one of my favorite games of all time as well.
What could it? That couldn't be it. I don't think it's Kingdom Hearts 2. What else?
No, it's that other big 2005 game that Elise loves.
It's definitely Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
It's definitely Resident Evil 4.
Not only is Outer Wilds like Game of the Year 2019, it is Game of the Decades 2010s, and like maybe Game of the Century if Kingdom Hearts 2 didn't exist. Like, I absolutely adore that game, and I think it's like a masterpiece of like art.
I mean, listen, I don't disagree.
It got robbed only having 9.
Outer Wilds, fantastic game. Yeah, I am kind of surprised it was only 9 out of the list.
It got 9. Outer Worlds got 11.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked Outer Worlds got 11.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I mean, I liked Outer Worlds a lot. I'm still. I guess here, folks, for some reference, some other things that are high on the list. We got Control, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Excuse me. Disco Elysium. Fire Emblem Three Houses, Outer Worlds, Outer Wilds, DMC5, Untitled Goose Game, Metro Exodus, COD, Gears 5.
5 or less, so.
Some people actually voted for Astral Chains. Good game, not game.
Yeah, yeah, there's some funny ones.
Baba is you, which I understand.
There was one award for 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Let's go! Great game.
Towards 2020. I wonder if it did. Maybe that came out in Japan first or something.
Oh yeah, I mean they were definitely. Yeah, it was definitely staggered.
My distant second for 2019 is Sekiro, which is interesting because that's my favorite FromSoft game, and I've got other FromSoft games on here, like on my list.
Game of the Year is all about what's the competition that year. It's not.
Yeah.
Like when we get down to like 2014 was not a good year for video games, folks.
Oh no, there's one year on here I'll talk about that I think is just an utter trash year. But I'll wait till we get there.
There's some bad, like I'm pretty sure a solid 7 could have won 2014 for me, and likely might. I am gonna pick for 2019 though. I'm sorry, Elise. I have to side with Prij. It's Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Ooh, wow, nice.
That game was so fun.
It's a great game.
I love Persona and I love Fire Emblem, and shoving that shit together was like, this is my jam. Was it a little too easy? Yeah, but like, it was fun. I don't care.
Yeah,
you just turn the difficulty up.
Yeah, again, I think Fire Emblem has some of the most well-designed characters. I mean, I think undisputably the most well-designed characters in the series. And I really just liked how much you could mold your team. How pretty much outside of a couple outdated gender lock classes, which was dumb. I like the fact that you could pretty much turn anyone into any class, which allows you a lot of fun and often very stupid strategies for experienced players who want to just do stupid shit.
And you can just
which
take
I really enjoyed.
ho-dunk dude who's out in the fields all day and be like, "You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry."
Or I know it's mage, but
yeah, actually, I only played that game this year, and like one of my favorite parts was like deciding based on like multiple factors how much I liked them as a character, what their strengths were, what my other like people on my team were, like deciding my what is it 20 characters that you can have, or is it 12?
It varies on the map.
12
on the maps.
I think 12 is the max.
10 or 12 is the max. Maps range from like 9. Most story missions are like 9 to 11. A couple 12s.
Yeah. And like deciding what those 12 would be and like how I would build them I only did 2 runs of that game, was like one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, it was like one of the few games that's like, here's a narrative that has 3, technically 4 branches, and I actually finished one and was like, I want to go to like replay this game 3 times. I didn't do the last branch yet, but man, great game.
I will say my second place for 2019 was Control, and my third place was Outer Wilds.
Yeah, my second would be Outer Wilds for sure. And then probably
I still haven't played Control. I've been meaning to play that since 2019.
I got to it last year and liked it a lot more than I thought. There are some limited aspects of the gameplay, but I ended up enjoying it a lot.
Yeah. And like honestly, like Star Wars and Control both had a lot of tech issues on launch, so like they got lowered.
Oh yeah. Yeah, some of those games were not worth playing in 2019.
Oh, let me tell you, Jedi Fallen Order, that game barely fucking ran for me. But
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is maybe my number 3 or 4 of that year. Like, I really, really like that game. I think Sekiro's just kind of better.
Listen, I would have liked Fallen Order a lot more if it functioned. All right, congratulations.
I've said this before, but I had like no tech issues with that game.
Oh yeah, I know it was me, but congratulations to Fire Emblem Three Houses. You are Save Data's Game of the Year 2019 retroactively. Well done. We look forward to the next mainline Fire Emblem game. Kind of sad that it was a Warriors game, but I might play this one.
Which is not coming out this summer because that's Fire Emblem Warriors. 3 hopes.
Moving backwards in time, we got 2018. The overall Game of the Year was God of War. The Game Awards Game of the Year was also God of War. Other ones in the list, really, it was a 2-man race in this one. It was God of War and Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah.
Which had like 10-fold the third place votes.
God, it's not even close.
It's not even close. Not even close. Third place coming in at Marvel Spider-Man. Then we've got Celeste, which, man, fucking close number 2 for me. Real close. In fact, ask me on a different day, Celeste is Game of the Year 2018. Monster Hunter World, Fortnite Battle Royale, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Astrobot Rescue Mission, Oberdin, Tetris Effect, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Florence, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Beat Saber. Man, also 2018 was a good year for game. Detroit Become Human, Frostpunk. That's
voted for Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, also fuck that person. Into the Breach.
Was it David Cage himself?
Oh no, David Cage pulled a Bobby Kotick, but actually Bakotaku. Oh no. PUBG Mobile? What the fuck are y'all doing? Subnautica, 2 Point Hospital?
Mobile gaming magazine.
I hope so. 2 Point Hospital, Yakuza 6, and 11? What the fuck game?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I don't know what that is. I'll start this one off. I think I did already. It's God of War. It's God of War for me. Celeste is a very close number 2, and as I said, depending on the day, they might swap. Celeste has much more like emotional meaning to me, whereas God of War is just a really good game. On like all fronts.
I booted up Data Boy on Sunday for the first time, this Sunday, after finishing Horizon. And I didn't have my controller at the time because it was in the mail. And that game needs a controller because the controls on mouse and keyboard are bad. So maybe I'll play it in like a month or 2.
Yeah, it's not shocking.
Yeah.
Prij or Elise?
So I'm basically the inverse of David. I will give the slight edge to Celeste, but I will also say it's very close to God of War. Also very close is Monster Hunter World.
I didn't know you were a Monster Hunter World guy. Okay.
Yeah, dog. I put like 200 hours on Monster Hunter World.
Oh,
That's why
shit.
I haven't played the new one. I don't want to. I'm not in a position where I can dump 200 hours into a game right now. That's why I didn't play the new one. I love Monster Hunter.
The Total War dilemma that I have.
Yeah. But yeah, my pick slightly edges to Celeste, but it's very, very close because God of War was an excellent game that I finally got to last year.
Yeah, like again, if I'm picking just off like how a game emotionally affected me, Celeste wins.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just like, God of War had like everything where it came to it was like emotionally good, didn't appeal to me as much, but like gameplay was super fun, looked beautiful, ran fantastically. Man, God of War is a good game.
It just came out on PC like a couple weeks ago, so if you want to play it and you don't have a PS4, that's an option.
Also, don't buy that game at full price on PC, folks. That game's like $20 or free on PlayStation. Wait. Just wait.
The price will drop on
you already waited like 3.5 to 4 years. You can wait another year for a sale.
Like, yeah, I got it for free in the PlayStation Plus collection.
Yeah. Speaking of though, I think Prij and I both have a little over 200 hours in Monster Hunter World, and that is my game of the year 2018.
Yeah, see, at least I did remember that you were the Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I love Monster Hunter. I've been playing. I've got another Monster Hunter on my list here. I've been playing. Well, I played Try like when it came out, barely because I was like 7 years old at the time, and that was on Wii. But then I really got into it like a year or two before World released with like portable third emulated, and then I got a 2DS to play Generations. So I really love that series. It's one of my all-time favorite series. And Monster Hunter World was... I think it had some problems that in some ways it's worse than the previous, but it really is an evolution in like so many ways too. So
yeah, honestly,
definitely my game of the year.
I'm kind of surprised Monster Hunter World isn't higher on this list after you two reminded me how big that game was when it came out. Like, was the PC
Celeste
launch?
I did play. The PC launch was like 8 months later.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that probably actually did have an effect on it.
Yeah, I think it did. I think the PC launch was technically 2019.
Here, let me check on it.
No, it wasn't. I think
it was January 2018 for PS4 and Xbox. August of that year for Windows.
It was.
So they both came out that year.
Yeah, I'm surprised it was behind. I mean, listen, it's still like on this aggregation site, it's still number 5, which is pretty good. But like, man, God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2 fucking ran away with it.
Yeah.
I think Celeste is a really great game. I did play it. I'm not that huge into 2D platformers. I'm really bad at them. I did make my way through it, but and like the story of that game and like the design and the art style and everything, I love it. It's just 2D platformers don't do it for me as much. So yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, I guess that's like what a Prij, you said Celeste was yours?
Yeah.
3-way tie.
Like 2.25.
Which is fine because those are all in my top 3. I would have been fine with any of them. Celeste, Monster Hunter, or God of War.
Yeah, I guess technically it's a tie for God of War and Celeste. Because it was Prij's top 2 and my top 2. And I didn't play Monster Hunter. So I guess like technically Celeste and God of War. I mean, I guess Elise, if it's in your like top 3, then Celeste would win by the point scale.
I mean, I think of this list, it might be my second.
Oh, I mean, listen, if it's
Don't
your number
commit to that,
two,
but
if it's your number
Yeah.
two, then I am willing to give 2018's Save Data Game of the Year retroactively to Celeste. Congratulations, Celeste. And I forget.
Shout out to Spider-Man,
Celeste of
though.
War.
Spider-Man
Shout out
was
to
a good
Spider-Man, though. Great game.
Great game. Yeah, I didn't expect
Haven't
the
played that
Celeste
yet.
love. Didn't expect the Celeste love. I do like going because listen, folks, I didn't even know who Prij and Elise were before we did this channel.
It's true.
So it is very interesting, especially for me to go back to the years before we were actually talking all the time, and listening to oh, you played this. I had no idea. So audience, I'm in the same position as you. Heck yeah. Congrats,
Yeah.
Celeste. Great game. Great game. You should publish these and put them on the site. Not that we really have a mechanism to do that, but Totally, I thought you were going to say, I didn't even know Prij and Elise before we started recording today.
Yeah,
we just met like
first
2
time an
minutes
hour ago.
Let's do 2017.
2017 was a big year in games too, folks.
In my opinion, this was the best year of the decade. In my opinion,
I can. 2018 might be more of it for me, but I can see where you're going.
2019 for me.
Overall game of the year, overwhelmingly, was The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which I believe also won at the Game Awards. Relatively sure. Following
Almost
that up, we had Horizon Zero Dawn, Super Mario Odyssey, Nier Automata, Persona 5, PUBG, Assassin's Creed Origins, Divinity Original Sin 2, Resident Evil 7, Wolfenstein 2, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Prey, Agents of Mayhem. What was that person smoking? Cuphead, Dragon Quest 11, Hollow Knight, Night in the Woods. Oh, I forgot it. Yep.
Even if you get one of the big ones, you have Hollow Knight and Night in the Woods, both 2017 games.
That's true.
Even once you get past the even What Remains of Edith Finch and Yakuza 0 are on here.
Yep. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13. What are some of these games doing on here?
I don't know, man.
Thimbleweed Park?
Thimbleweed Park, dude. Best game of 2017 was
Ghost
Thimbleweed
Recon
Park.
Wildlands? What are these people thinking?
What the fuck is an award for a Tom Clancy game?
Yeah, 2017 was a fantastic year. I have to think about this.
It's worth noting in this one, Persona 5's on here, but that's because the worldwide release was 2017. It technically came out in 2016.
Yeah,
so,
and
I
also
think it's similar thing
so I don't know. So I don't know if it should be counted necessarily.
It's also it's the year that we would have been able to play it, so I would count that.
Okay.
What's confounding?
I think Hollow Knight came out in 2016, but then it came out on Switch in 2017, and that's when all the game journalists played it because.
What game?
Really?
Hollow Knight. Yeah. Pretty sure it came out in 2016, but no one knew about it.
Let's investigate. One night. No, it came out in 2017. Came out in Switch in 2018, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Windows in 2017, Switch in 18, and then a few months after that, PlayStation. God,
see, what's confounding for Persona 5 is I didn't play the original base Persona 5. I played Royal, which did have significant changes to the combat system.
And I haven't played either yet because I haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, me neither.
And I don't know that I would like it as much without the changes that they added in Royal. In fact, I'm almost certain I wouldn't have. So I'm like, Because listen, if Royal were on this list, it would be Royal for me. But I don't think that's fair. Prij or Elise, one of you two go. I need a noodle.
Down to here, and I can't decide, and maybe y'all can help me because it's Breath of the Wild and Hollow Knight. Assassin's Creed Origins I also love, but it's not quite as high as these two.
I didn't play Hollow Knight. Still haven't played Hollow Knight, so I can't really help you.
I think I know in my heart of hearts. I didn't play it until a couple years later, but I think it's going to be Breath of the Wild by like a slight margin.
Yeah, so again, this one's
I
hell
only
for
did
me.
like the first ending.
Yeah. This one's hell for me because there are 4 games in here that, I mean, I love Night in the Woods, but again, I'm not going to give it Game of the Year. But like between Nier Automata, Horizon Zero Dawn, Breath of the Wild, and Hollow Knight are just 4 incredibly good games.
A lot of good choices there.
Absolutely incredible.
Like I said, I just played
games.
Horizon.
My pick's Horizon.
Over Night in the Woods?
I mean, Night in the Woods is Night in the Woods is a 2D, sort of a 2D. Night in the Woods is a special game for me, but it's not objectively like Game of the Year. It's just a game that's very personally good to me.
I don't think objectively it's in games journal, but that's just my personal feeling.
I think technically maybe is the word I'm looking for. It's not a technical, like, amazing game. It's more that the story holds a special place in my heart, but I don't particularly. The music does too, actually. I don't know. Either way, my game of the year this year for that year is Horizon Zero Dawn, with very tight between that, Nier, and Breath of the Wild, and then right after that, Hollow Knight and Night in the Woods.
Yeah, I was not as high on not Breath of the Wild. Sorry, Horizon as you.
Yeah.
That's not even on my top like 5 for that year. I'm between Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and Nier.
I like Odyssey. Not as much as I like other 3D Marios, like the Galaxy games. So
the Galaxy games are definitely better than Odyssey in my opinion.
And that's the thing. I played Galaxy. I like Odyssey a lot more.
I don't know, for some reason, I don't know. I just didn't like the open world Mario. I didn't like that. I was like, hey, just like you wandered around and just occasionally found moons in random spots. I like the more like level objective 3D Mario games. Also, the fact that one of the moons is stare at a random taxi cab in the sky for 5 seconds made me want to punch a hole through a wall. Because that was that was like stupid.
That's a moon you only need to do for like 100%. You don't need.
Still, why is that a thing? I would never know to do that.
I mean, they do give you hints as you go through them.
I know, but still, it's dumb. And then I'll never
listen.
That
moon was stupid. I'm not arguing against that. That was a dumb moon.
I'll forever resent that single moon.
Oh man. I know, and Mackie in the chat. I like Horizon Breath of the Wild is a better game. I agree. And free climbing was not the reason. I think Breath of the Wild was like, I'm a narrative open world game, but also there's a whole 20 hours of dead time in that game for me. And moving around that world was annoying for the first like 10 hours. Man, so Horizon's off the plate. Between those 3. I think I'm gonna give it to Breath of the Wild. I think at the time I had more fun with it. If I were to go back and replay those games now, I think out of Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and Nier, I would have fun with Breath of the Wild the least out of those 3. But at the time, it was Breath of the Wild.
And I replayed Breath of the Wild like maybe a year or so after I first played it, and like it felt like playing it new. It was like I think I played it slightly more the second time around.
I guess it's more desire. Like out of those 3, which one do I want to replay more? It's Odyssey or Nier. And the Nier one is biased because I did play Nier Replicant recently, but like even before that,
I'm perfectly accepting of giving it to Breath of the Wild. I mean, there's a reason it was the runaway. It was the absolute runaway that
Great
year.
Game. It was a great game.
262 awards to Horizon 69 and to Mario Odyssey's 37.
Nice.
It absolutely ran away with it.
And like, also, this isn't saying Zelda Breath of the Wild does not have issues, because boy, it does.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
But
weapon durability,
I think the issues are
two of the big ones for me.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Zach. We didn't ruin your dreams. If Chris was here, we might have. So
sorry,
congratulations.
Chris would have absolutely fucking tried to filibuster that.
Hey, listen, Chris might have convinced me that Nier was my choice if given the opportunity. So congratulations, Zach. Breath of the Wild is in fact Save Data's 2017 Game of the Year. Congrats, Nintendo. Well done. Going back in time another year, we have 2016. Whose Game of the Year is a bit closer than the past couple years, but not super close. Overall, it was Uncharted 4: Thief's End. I actually don't know which one won Game Award. I actually think it was Overwatch. Overwatch is number 2. Overwatch at number 2. Doom 2016 at number 3, and then we've got Battlefield 1. Wow, I'm shocked to see it that high. Last Guardian, also shocked to see it that high. Dark Souls 3, Inside, Final Fantasy 15, The Witcher 3. Wow, The Witcher 3. Oh, that's DLC. Never mind.
The DLC, the Blood and Wine DLC.
The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine DLC, Dishonored 2, The Witness, Titanfall 2, Hitman what? Oh, because they sorry, I forgot they redid the trilogy then. Hitman, Pokemon Go, XCOM 2, Persona 5, the one because it released in Japan. Civ 6, Super Hot. Okay. Call of Duty, Deus Ex, FIFA, Firewatch. I'll give Firewatch a shout out. Forza Horizon 3, Monster Hunter Generations. There you go, Elise. Owlboy. What the fuck is Quadrilateral Cowboy?
That's like a hacking game.
Is it?
It's weird. It's interesting. I haven't actually played it, but I've seen it.
I kind of want to play that just because its name is stupid. And some other ones.
Hey man, shout out Tokyo Mirage Sessions. That's a good game, actually.
Oh, that's the weird Fire Emblem crossover.
It's Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei combination sort of game. And then by Fire Emblem, I mean it uses some characters as Fire Emblem for inspiration for characters. It's not really a Fire Emblem game.
Basically, Fire Emblem instead of personas, right?
Yeah, exactly. Your personas are Fire Emblem characters. That's the only relation to Fire Emblem. It's just a Shin Megami Tensei game. Mind you, it's a good Shin Megami Tensei game. Don't get me wrong, but the Fire Emblem part is extremely limited.
And that makes me less likely to play it ever. Is that they're just the characters?
Yeah.
Let's see. Who wants to kick this one off?
Y'all,
okay, I got two, and I cannot ever decide between them. And it's Dark Souls 3, which is my favorite of the Dark Souls, and Monster Hunter Generations, which is one of my favorite Monster Hunters. And like Monster Hunter Generations, I put like between Generations and Double Cross, I put like probably 300 or 400 hours. Dark Souls 3, I did like New Game Plus, and I did some PvP for a little bit. But I really love Dark Souls 3. I think it's like the most smooth, like combat wise. It's basically a rehash of Dark Souls 1, but like they just improved it. It's less fresh. And if you care about like how fresh and how new something is, then Dark Souls 3 is like, I see why it would be lower. But for me, it's like, if it's the best, it's the best, right? Even if it's not.
That's fair.
Monster Hunter Generations is just like, had some of the best endgame, probably the best endgame, like, of any Monster Hunter. Had the most monsters. It had like all the coolest monsters, except the ones that were released like in World and Rise. And like with Double Cross, it got like Valstrax, it got like a Trolka, which is this giant mantis that builds itself a mech with webs. Just a ton of like really, really cool monsters.
It builds itself a mech with webs. Okay. All right.
It grabs junk from the arena and strings it together with its webs, and then you need to take down the mech from its weak spots to be able to.
Makes a lot more sense than the picture I had in my brain.
I also want to shout out, this is also a year with Dishonored 2 and Titanfall 2, which are like some of my top of all time.
Yeah, we might be talking about Titanfall 2.
Played Monster? No, I don't think I played Monster Hunter Generations.
Elise, your games are on their own on this one. As I know, Fridge and I are not picking Dark Souls.
Who are the flagship monsters of Generations?
Generations, the flagship was the Fated 4, most of which have made their way into either Rise or World. And the Fated 4 is Glavenus, Gameth, Mizutsune, which is probably my favorite of the Fated 4, and I want to say Astrolabus. That's from Nobody Saves the World. It's like the bug dragon. What's his name?
Oh, so that was the first game that those 4 appeared in?
Yeah, it was. They were like the flagship monsters because it was.
So I have played that.
Each of them.
I have played that one.
Oh, really? Each of them represented like the each generation. So the bug dragon was the first generation. Mizutsune was like the Leviathan, represented the third. And it just basically took all the best monsters from the series and also some of the worst, to be fair. It had like the weapon style system where you could have your aerial style or adept style or striker style that like change up the moveset a lot. Yeah, I just really, really like it.
I literally cannot remember whether I played that one.
Astalos. That's his name.
All right, so real quickly. First off, I'm gonna give my opinion. Then 2, I'm going to go run and find my DS and see if I can find out what freaking Monster Hunter game I played. Because I'm literally doubting my own memory right now. First off, fuck Dark Souls 3. Sorry. My pick is either going to be if I did play Generations, then my pick is Generations. If I didn't play that one, then my pick is Titanfall 2, because those are like the only 2 games from that year I cared about. You guys talk. I need to go for my DS.
Okay. Well, my pick is certainly not Dark Souls. It's certainly not the overwhelming leader of Uncharted 4, because I didn't play 4, but I played 1 through 3 and forced myself to play them and did not really enjoy any of them all that much. Man. Overwatch and Doom were both fantastic.
I did like Overwatch at launch.
I was gonna say,
but then
2016 Overwatch I liked a lot. 2017 or 18 Overwatch I fell off of real hard.
I only put like maybe 67 hours into Overwatch. Like, I didn't get that deep into it. But.
Listen, if I were picking prior to the past year, I would have picked Overwatch. But last year I played Titanfall 2, and that's probably the best first-person shooter campaign in existence.
Oh, for sure. I played that campaign like 5 times.
It's real good. So it's
so good.
Even without playing the multiplayer, I think I'm going to go with Titanfall 2 for me.
It's funny that Doom is also here, and like nobody cares about multiplayer in Doom. I don't love Doom 2016.
Oh, I like Doom 2016 a lot.
It got so much praise at launch, and like, how many people do you know that got more than like 2/3 of the way through that game?
Me?
Because I don't.
I beat it.
I just think.
So you know one.
I don't know, compared to Titanfall 2 especially.
Yeah, no, like I think Titanfall 2 is they're completely different. Like I don't even think of Doom as a first-person shooter. It's as much as like it's almost it's Doom. Like it's almost like a crazy strategic first-person shooter. especially 2016 and Eternal, both of which I liked a lot. I neither of them my game of the year for the year they came out, but like, and both great games. I really like. I liked Eternal more than 2016. They both had the issue of like the later in the game it like went off the rails, and I was like, okay, I have to turn the difficulty down.
Okay, so I have played both Monster Hunter 4 and Monster Hunter Generations. It wasn't one or the other. I've played both of them. So my pick for this year is Monster Hunter Generations.
Nice.
Again, didn't expect this coming into today. Congratulations, Monster Hunter Generations. You are Save Data's Game of the Year 2016. Get wrecked Uncharted 4. I'm fine with it. It's not Uncharted series. That's all I needed to hear.
Uncharted. I've never played those games.
1 through 3, people say 4 is like better for people who don't like 1 through 3, but like, do I really want to play another one? That's kind of where I'm at. Maybe eventually.
I played Tomb Raider. Those games are just Uncharted, but better.
Oh, they don't play the same at all. I don't agree with that. Thematically, yes, they are, but how they play, no. All right, moving further back in time, 2015. Again, overwhelmingly. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was Game of the Year for 2015. We also have Fallout 4, Bloodborne, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Life is Strange. I didn't realize it was that new. Super Mario Maker, Rocket League, Undertale. Shocked that's not higher. Rise of the Tomb Raider, Batman Arkham Knight, Her Story. That's on here. That's cool. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Splatoon, Star Wars Battlefront, Until Dawn, Axiom Verge, Call of Duty stuff, Sybil, I don't know what that is. Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth.
Digimon Story, Cyber Sleuth, baby, a Digimon game.
There is a Digimon game.
Full circle, baby, we got to Digimon.
I didn't know that was here, but it doesn't deserve to be.
Apparently it is a good game, though.
I refuse to believe that. I've heard it before. Everybody's gone to the Rapture, Kerbal Space Program, Massive Chalice. Also shocked to see that here. Ori and the Blind Forest, Fruits? Sunless Sea, Tales from the Borderlands, Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I know what Pridge's pick is going to be.
We made it, boys!
Xenoblade Chronicles X, the last one on here.
Was it me on a different identity? Who knows? But with one vote, Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Am I correct to assume that is your pick for Game of the Year 2015, Prij?
Yes, it is. But second place is Witcher 3, if that helps.
It might. That might be important.
You know, Witcher 3 is great. I've got 2 other games on here that are like in contention. But you know what game came out in 2015?
I mean,
Mad Max.
Oh my god.
Mad Max.
Nice.
I genuinely love that game. I think that is an amazing open world game. It's incredibly formulaic, but it is Mad Max.
Let's go.
God.
The other games in contention are Undertale and Ori and the Blind Forest. I played Ori twice. I absolutely love that game. I did the pacifist run and the true pacifist run of Undertale. I really, really love Undertale, but I gotta give it to Mad Max.
Oh. That's... This might be the first year where we just don't have one. My number one for 2015 is Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. That game, despite it not really having an ending, absolutely great game. Stealth shooter, probably the best stealth game that exists, without going into like super niche things that no one really talks about. It's just utterly a fantastic game, full of stupid Kojima bullshit. like quiet, who breathes through her skin, which is why she is scantily clad. All right, Kojima. Sure.
Okay, Kojima.
Like, sure, but
just pull Yoko Taro. Say I wanted to see hot women.
Just be honest about it. Come on, man.
like, sure, but I truly like Metal Gear Solid 5. I spent so much time in that game. It was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. The Witcher 3 didn't hit that well for me. Like, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't like, certainly wasn't in love with it. I might even pick Fallout 4 above it, which is kind of saying a lot about how I felt about The Witcher 3. It had a lot of issues.
I really like The Witcher 3, but there's some competition in 2015.
Witcher 3 is like one of those ones
Max.
where people are like, Witcher 3 has like every single thing you do is like super cool and has meaning, and realistically, no, it does not.
Yeah, no, I mean, Witcher 3 definitely has issues. Every single quest is follow these footprints to every single like monster hunt is go to a place, follow these footprints, fight the monster.
Yeah, and people are like, every quest is different. I'm like, no, they ain't, bro.
No, they aren't. No, 90% of the quests are all the same.
They're all the same. It just has like decent writing for those quests, which people at the time were like, oh my god, they spent $5 for writers. What's happening? Yeah,
I thought it was a great game, don't get me wrong, but I think people do overlook some very clear flaws that it has.
Yeah. That's
I actually booted that game up like a couple weeks ago while I was watching the Witcher series, which I really liked. Yeah. I only got like a couple hours in before I got too bored.
Yeah, and that was my issue with the game. Like, I got bored pretty quick and had to just like critical path it.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
I ended up playing a shit ton of it. But
love
again, it has some issues.
Yeah.
My third place for this year was Ori and the Blind Forest, because that game does.
I love Ori.
Hyper slap.
Yeah, I think after
I still
Metal
haven't
Gear.
Played much of.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I still haven't played much of the sequel of
Will of the Wisps.
I've heard really good.
It's
things
really good.
It's much the same with some Hollow Knight-esque combat thrown in. It's a very good game.
Real good.
Yeah.
Real good. Yeah, no, I think after Metal Gear for me it would be Fallout 4 and either Ori or Undertale, likely. I'm gonna declare this one a tie. That seem reasonable?
Yeah, it's fine.
What, Ori and Undertale?
No. Xeno, like all of our ones, because I don't think any of us.
Sure.
I don't think any of us feel strongly about the other ones. So if I'm wrong, correct me. But
I don't think I played.
I mean, I don't mind making it a tie between like Ori and Undertale. I mean, I haven't gotten to Undertale, but
Elise,
I respect it.
What was your pick, Elise?
Mad Max.
Right.
It's just a really good game. What can I say?
All right, so I guess my top 3 retroactively would be Metal Gear, Fallout 4, and Ori.
Mine's Xenoblade, Witcher, then Ori.
Mine's probably Mad Max, Undertale, and Ori, and those are all really, really close together. So
Ori is the only one consistent among all 3 lists.
Congrats, Ori!
Ori and the Blind Forest come from behind underdog win. Congratulations, Ori and the Blind Forest. Your save data's Game of the Year 2015. See, that's what I'm curious. Is Zach gonna be mad about this one? I feel like yes.
I mean, well, one, none of us brought up Bloodborne.
Oh, that's Chris. That's a Chris joint. I don't know if that's a Zach joint.
Zach, Zach would have agreed with you on Metal Gear Solid.
That's
5,
true. That's true.
He also likes Ori and Undertale too, to be fair, but he would have agreed with you. I mean, I have to assume MGS5 is pretty high on his list because he's obviously a huge fan of that series.
I've only played the odd numbered games for Metal Gear, And like
I've only
five's
played
just
2 and 3.
good.
I've only played 2 and 3. None of the other ones have honestly looked that interesting to me.
I've
Oh,
played
hello.
Revengeance. I'm like
Hello.
halfway through Revengeance.
Chat, excuse me. Wait, what just happened? J Tenalea, best game published by Microsoft until Psychonauts 2. I'm gonna need you to listen. You're right, but I'm gonna need you to clarify that one. Which game is that? What did we miss? Oh, Ori. Okay, that makes sense.
Or yeah,
That's
that's
fair.
fair. That's fair. Yeah,
That's fair.
that's a good one.
I probably not true, but it's a fair opinion. Moving to the
2014.
year of dearth.
Yeah.
Ouch.
There's nothing good here.
Ouch.
Listen, I don't like trashing on people's games because they put a lot of heart into them, but 2014, weak year. Weak year in video games.
Very weak year.
The winner by relatively large margins was Dragon Age Inquisition, which I did not play.
That's the first Jeff Keighley Game of the Year. Too.
Oh, that's true. First Game Awards Game of the Year.
Wow.
We
How far we've
have
come.
other games on here: Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, Mario Kart 8, Super Smash Bros. Which
Had to have been the
3DS.
Wii U one. I think.
oh yeah, Wii U. Okay. Far Cry
Smash
4. Why didn't they put a subtitle or 4 on that one? Far Cry 4, Bayonetta 2, Alien Isolation, Dark Souls 2, Destiny. Hi, Elise. Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft, Divinity Original Sin, Kentucky Route Zero, Act 3. Fuck that game. Sunset
How dare
Overdrive.
you? It's a good
That game.
game.
It's
That's
a
Act
fine game. It's a fine
It's a very well written game.
It's
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 2, Shovel Knight, Zack cries as none of us pick that. This War of Mine, Wolfenstein The New Order, Titanfall 1, Transistor, Chris cries, Call of Duty.
Not necessarily.
Oh, not necessarily. Okay.
I love Transistor.
Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, Ace Attorney audience cries, Elite Dangerous, South Park The Stick of Truth, Evil Within, Walking Dead Season 2, Assassin's Creed Unity, Banish, Borderlands the pre-sequel. There's a bunch of games on here, and like none of them are like that good.
There's a bunch of okay games.
Danganronpa 2, the Ace Attorney chat cries even more. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, the prequel thing, Diablo 3 expansion, Persona Q, Pokemon Omega Ruby. Those are remakes. Get out of here. Vanishing of Ethan Carter, Wolf Among Us. This list is long.
Yeah, there's so many ones. There are so many
So
ones
many
on here.
ones on here. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm playing a
Talos
little
Principle's
bit
on
of.
here. Good game.
Talos Principle.
Well, that game's alright. I've actually been playing a little bit of Elite Dangerous, like more
There's,
like last
there's a
month.
lot of decent games on here.
Yeah,
A lot of decent games on here.
I think for me it's Smash 3DS.
I was not expecting
Specifically
that
3DS,
from you.
but- Look, it's compared to every single other game of the year we've listed so far, it's like way below. But I did actually play that game a lot once I got a 3DS. And then I played it quite a bit with my roommates in like 2017, 18, where we had it like on the Wii U, and then I would connect my 3DS because I think the 3DS is the best controller for Smash. 2DS specifically, actually.
Elise, you are insane.
With the Wii U version of that game, you can just like connect your 2DS as or 3DS like just directly as a controller for the Wii U version.
Aware. I'm aware you can do that. My question is, I mean, like, listen, compared to the Wiimote, maybe, but like,
Better than the Remote, better than the GameCube, better
oh,
than
Elise, that
Joy-Cons
is,
are close.
listen,
Joy-Cons are close. I like Joy-Cons for Smash, but like aside from Drift,
that The 3DS is the best Smash controller is the wildest thing I think you've ever said on
2DS.
one of
2DS.
2DS, which is arguably worse. That is the wildest thing I think I've ever heard you say on content. Or period.
I stand by my statement.
You could literally, you could say, no,
no,
Elise, you could say that Mad Max was the best video game of all time, and I would understand that more than the 2DS controller being the best Smash controller.
Hear me out. The circle stick is just the right size where you can still do tilts, but you can also do smash inputs really, really quickly and easily. I really like the buttons. It's a really comfortable controller to hold in your hands. The large,
don't agree with that.
LNR buttons. You can have one on shield, one on shield, one on grab. It just works.
I had to get a grip for the 2DS because I felt like I was getting carpal tunnels after 30 minutes of playing on it. The original 2DS, the new 2DS feels better, but yeah, that's insane to me. So okay, yeah. Smash for the 3DS specifically, or 2DS specifically, is your game of the year 2014. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I played that a lot in like 2017, but still.
Okay. Moving from that one, mine is probably South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Also, I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah, go for it. South Park: Stick of Truth, pretty decent turn-based game. Actually funny, which is not common in video games. Like, I know it's a South Park game, but the second South Park game, The Fractured But Whole, was not funny and far worse than the first. So, not just a given that having the South Park Trey and Matt, right?
Yeah.
Not a given that it's going to be funny just having that match. So, South Park: Stick of Truth is probably my game of the year. Tales of Xillia 2 might be behind it because that's just a really weak year in games. I don't think that's a particularly great Tales game, but I literally have nothing on my spreadsheet from 2014 that is above a 7. Not a single game.
I mean, my number one is Bayonetta 2.
I haven't played that one.
That game's phenomenal. And my number 2 is Transistor. Because, I mean, the studio just puts out good games.
I fell off of Transistor real quick. I don't know what it was about it.
And then my third one, not really very many people ever played this game, but Child of Light was a phenomenal turn-based game.
I've heard that's really good.
It's a great game.
That was one of those like Ubisoft but small team games, right?
Yes, it was. I believe so. Yeah, no, it was because I fucking had to go through Ubisoft's launcher when I played on Steam. Yeah, and I got so fucking mad. I'm like, I don't want to go through fucking Uplay. Jesus Christ, just let me play. Fucking. That's
the funniest game to go through Uplay for. Like, I won't go through Uplay to play this basically indie game, Child of Light.
Yeah, essentially, it's a phenomenal game that more people should play it. But yeah, my picks are Bayonetta 2, Transistor, and Child of Light.
I think I played a little bit of Child of Light, like way back when, but...
Elise, do you happen to have a 2 or 3 pick? Because, so far, nothing. We have nothing that matches.
Yes.
And you'll be mostly unbiased, because, like, you weren't here for us talking about the other ones.
I did... When we were just talking about them, I had one, and then I forgot. Oh, Elite Dangerous was maybe my number 2. What were yours? Because maybe Mario Kart 8. I don't know. Maybe...
Elise,
Dark Souls 2.
No, definitely not with me and Prij. Listen, if you're here for Dark Souls to get anything, it ain't happening today, folks.
You're gonna need to swap two of these hosts out for
yeah, we need to get Zach
two
and
other
Chris
ones.
in here. Yeah, the two that are absent.
So unfortunately, two of us. The only more the only more like hating you could get is if you swapped Elise out for 8-Ball. Then you would get the ultimate. It would be the ultimate Dark Souls hate crew.
Elise, my number 1 is South Park Stick of Truth, and then my 2 and 3, you could interchange them, are Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, and Tales of Xillia 2.
Okay, well, I've played one of those games and I didn't like it. And I'm not a big fan of South Park. So
Yep.
and I don't know if
again, my picks are Bayonetta 2, Transistor, and Child of Light. So this might be the one year we have to just say there's no consensus.
I played like the first 2 or 3 zones of Transistor, and I like that game fine. Maybe we'll go with Transistor.
That is such a non-glowing endorsement.
Should we summon the ghost of Chris? Who's alive?
Is Chris here?
No.
Oh.
But we should summon his ghost.
Let's see. You know what? Nah, let's just, 2014 was a bad year in games, folks. So there was no consensus. If anything, it's a 3-way tie between South Park The Stick of Truth, Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS, and Bayonetta 2. So congrats, I guess, to those 3, because none of you stood out enough to actually win outright.
The most tepid congrats I could give.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I guess Shovel Knight was this year. Zach cries.
Yeah.
We
I
go.
love that game.
Let's see. 1 or 2 more, and then I think call it. Sounds good to.
Yeah, I mean, I went. Yeah, I mean, I only have 2 more on my list, so.
Oh, perfect. We'll go back 2, and then we'll call it.
Cool.
Yeah, I have 2013 and 2012.
Winding back the time machine yet again, we have 2013, the overall game of the year.
Years in games.
I don't think 2013 was that bad, to be honest. That's just me, though. Overall, the winner for 2013 was The Last of Us. Number 2, not super close, but relatively, Grand Theft Auto 5. And then nothing close from there. We've got Bioshock Infinite, Super Mario 3D World, Gone Home, Tomb Raider, the remake, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, Papers, Please, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, Rayman Legends, The Stanley Parable, Battlefield 4, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, Pokemon X and Y, Cloud Chamber? What is that?
I have no idea.
That's the name of a studio now that's working on the new Bioshock, which makes me very confused, especially because it came out the same year as Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah.
Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, Final Fantasy 14. Oh, that's a Japanese. Kentucky Route Zero. I presume that's Act 1. Kerbal Space Program again? Wasn't that like a year or 2 later? Whatever. Luigi's Mansion,
Yeah.
Dark Moon, Rain, Shadowrun Returns, Space Team, Tearaway, The Swapper, Year. Okay, I guess I know Speed. Or
So few of those.
Shadowrun and Tearaway I'm familiar with, but didn't play.
I think I played Gear Walk. That sounds familiar, but couldn't tell you anything about it.
Wow, there's a lot of other really good games that are not on this list at all. Bad.
So depending on how you want to do Spirit here, I've got 2. One of these games, I don't even know if it's on this list, but came out in 2013, and I have played like 1,200 hours of it.
Fuck, okay.
However, it came out in 2013, and it didn't get good until like 2016, 2017. And I didn't play it until 2017.
Is it Payday 2?
It's Warframe.
Oh,
I was gonna say that's what I was gonna guess. I couldn't remember the name. I was like, is that when Warframe first came out? 'Cause I know Warframe was bad. I know Warframe was bad for a while.
Warframe was bad for a while. Warframe was bad for a long time. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it anymore, just because like I basically beat that game. I talked about this like a couple months ago. It's too easy now. There's no like end game in that game.
Which is shocking for how many people are still keeping that game and Digital Extremes afloat.
I tried to get into Warframe because
I think it's a really good game. Like I got 1,000 hours of it. I'm not going to say it's a bad game. It's just like I beat it. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
GG. Yeah. And if you don't count that because it didn't get good for a while, I think it's Stanley Parable.
Oh, okay.
I like that game a lot.
So my pick for that year was Super Mario 3D World, and then second place is Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, because that game was actually really good.
Ooh. I don't have Legend of Zelda: A Link Between spreadsheet big on my. Oh, do we lose? Did I lose Prij or just his camera? Just your camera. Close the tab with the camera, Prij. Maybe we did lose. We might have lost Prij. We might have lost Prij.
He's still in the call, but not talking.
Keep going.
Yeah.
At least there's still the background from the last time we did a 3-person show. It was the Metroid Dread show, I guess. For me, oh man, I think Last of Us is my number one. I did not jive with part 2 for lots of narrative reasons, but part 1 was very good narratively. It had some gameplay issues, but man, like Last of Us part 1 was utterly fantastic. Number 2 would be BioShock Infinite. I know that Chris and some others on this channel absolutely do not like that game, but I really like BioShock Infinite. That game's good. And for 3 for me would probably be Fire Emblem Awakening. Also came out that year.
Oh, it did.
It did. Fire Emblem Awakening.
That might edge out Stanley Parable, I think.
Oh,
I played that game twice. I really like that game. I played it like a couple months ago and modded it so that it was gay.
Oh, okay. We got Prij back, I think. Or he's coming back. Oh, maybe not. Camera came back for a second. He had a power surge, folks. Technical difficulties. But yeah, no. Fire Emblem Awakening was good. I think the children mechanic completely busted that game in ways that made it worse.
Oh, yeah. It's not just that the children mechanic busted it, it's also that game you can grind, which most Fire Emblem games you can't. Like, you can just not progress with the story and just, like, grind random encounters. Which I think
it had grinding,
busted the balance.
It had the kids. It had, I think the support system in that one was kind of busted too.
Yeah, like merging the two characters together. Yeah.
Like, which was fun, but busted. So like that game, I had a lot of fun with it. If it didn't have some of those systems where they were a little more fleshed out, it probably would have been my number 2, maybe 1. But man, Last of Us, great game. BioShock Infinite, great game. Fire Emblem Awakening, great game. 2013 had some bangers.
Replying to chat, my hot take, and I've been saying this since I played it. This is going back like forward a few years, I guess. Assassin's Creed Origins is better than The Witcher 3. They're very, very, very similar games, and Assassin's Creed Origins is the better one.
Oh, we hear you, yeah.
Hello. Oh shit! Yes. Wow, that was
we can hear you.
Okay. The router reset quicker than I thought.
We got a blip of your camera, and then it went away.
I'll resend you the link.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess what you missed, Prij. My top 3 are Last of Us, BioShock Infinite, and Fire Emblem Awakening. Oh, Prij, your camera's back. You can just not touch anything.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And then Elise, after I told you that, is Fire Emblem your number one now?
I think Fire Emblem. I don't know if it beats out Warframe, but also Warframe's kind of there on the technicalities. So
too.
Yeah, put it there.
I mean, yeah, I'll go for Awakening. I kind of forgot it came out that year. I don't have tremendously strong feelings for anything else, and even though I think Awakening has issues as a Fire Emblem game,
for sure.
Which we talked about a bunch of those while you were DC'd to buy time.
Okay.
So
fair enough. Then I won't contribute anything. Then I don't need to contribute anything else to that.
It's also the first Fire Emblem game I played. I think it's the first Fire Emblem game like a lot of people played.
Yeah,
because it was the first big jump once Path of Radiance and Radiance Dawn finished up for the GameCube generation.
It revitalized interest in the series because like Shadow Dragon did really badly because that game sucked.
Shadow Dragon sucked ass.
And if Awakening didn't do well, we wouldn't be getting Fire Emblem in the West anymore. So I'm glad Awakening did great. So congratulations, Fire Emblem Awakening. You are Save Data's Game of the Year for 2013. Well done.
Yeah.
To the last year we're gonna do today, we have 2012. Let's see. Game of the Year overall for 2012 was the Walking Dead Telltale series.
Wild to me. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, great game. Just really surprised that a Telltale game.
Yeah, I'm shocked too, to be honest. And honestly, this was a close year too. None of this was like blowing each other out of the water.
That's true, actually. Yeah, sure.
We got Walking Dead the game. We have Journey.
There's also a lot less votes total.
Yeah, a lot less places back then. We got Journey. We got Far Cry 3. We have Dishonored, Mass Effect 3, Borderlands 2, Assassin's Creed 3, Halo 4, XCOM, Guild Wars 2, Max Payne 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Skyrim, that's from the year before, Sleeping Dogs, Xenoblade Chronicles, Hi Prij. I don't know if that's your game of the year, just Xenoblade Chronicles.
That was when the original came out?
Yeah.
I presume.
Did I not pay attention to this list enough? That's obviously my game of the year. I must not been paying attention enough.
Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition. Does that mean Dark Souls came out before 2012 and then they
Dark Souls was 2011. Dark Souls was 2011. Yeah.
Whoever put this on Game of the Year 2012, fuck off. Fez.
Xenoblade Chronicles was 2010
in the US.
It might have been the US.
When did Xenoblade Chronicles come out? Chronicles. No, it came out in the Wii and the NA was 2012.
Okay, so it's an NA. Okay, that's what it was.
Came out in Japan in 2010, Europe and Australia. Australia in 2011, and then NA in 2012.
Yeah, well, if I can count it, that's my pick.
Sure, I mean, that's the first year you would have been able to play it.
Yeah, if I can't count it, it's Borderlands 2.
I say count it.
Okay.
Spec Ops The Line was that year too. Oof. I think mine for this year is Journey.
Still haven't played Journey.
Followed closely behind by Mass Effect 3 and
okay.
Probably that third spot's tough. Probably Mass Effect 3 and Spec Ops. I really like that game.
I got 2 stealth games and Mass Effect 3. I'm not sure exactly the order these would go. The 2 stealth games being Dishonored and Mark of the Ninja, which I think are the 2 best stealth games ever made. Dishonored being like 3D stealth, like immersive sim, and Mark of the Ninja just being like a really good refinement of 2D, like side-scrolling stealth. I really like Mark of the Ninja. And
I've heard
Mass Effect 3, I think we talked about this. Yeah, I think we talked about Mass Effect 3 like 6 months ago or whatever.
Yeah, with the Legendary edition.
I think that game in replaying it, Mass Effect 3 was better than Mass Effect 2. So I think, and I love Mass Effect 2. So yeah,
I don't know that I go that far still, but like it's close. And that's even without the freaking extra ending added later. Like I don't think that did anything. I just think the reason people were mad about that game was mostly marketing.
Mass Effect 3 also didn't have an extremely ableist DLC, which Mass Effect 2 did.
Did it?
So, mark. Yeah, the like, I forget what it's called. It's like basically this scientist has been torturing his autistic brother. And it is really bad. Yeah.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah. Yikes.
Really ableist.
And then Maggie's like, Journey is nice and all, but I might argue there's too little game in Journey to call it a game. That is fair. I don't agree, but it's fair. Journey was cool, and I think the biggest thing to me was just like having to solve puzzles with a random person that you couldn't talk to was really neat. And just like I went through that whole journey with the same person. Like I just logged on, went with someone, we played through the whole game, and that was it. And it was just super cool. Like I had such a great time with it, and the guy was trying to get me to help him with trophies, and it was like my first PS3 game, so I didn't know what those were.
That's cool.
So he's like trying to get me to like wait in order to do some trophies, and I'm like, no, let's go. But we couldn't talk. We just had chirps basically. And it was just such a fun game. The art was great. No, mechanically there wasn't a lot there, but like I had a really good. And Mass Effect 3 did still have issues that I didn't like compared to 2. I don't think its ending was great. I just don't think it was. I think people overblew how bad the ending was.
It's not amazing, but I don't think it ruins anything.
Yeah, like I think it's fine. It doesn't ruin the game for me. What a lot of the talk at the time was, this ruins Mass Effect. The rest of the games don't matter. And I was like, no, I don't believe that. Yeah. Especially because that was objectively not true. Because like it changed, like a bunch of the decisions you made in the first two games carried over and affected dialogue and characters that were, even alive and could join your team and like fight alongside you. Like, hey, if Rex dies in the first game, guess who's not coming back for part 3? Fucking not Rex. And they had to write around that, which was a pain.
Oh, I am sure.
From the dev side, that just sucks of like having to write this. Like, well, that character could be just like completely dead for 2 entire games, and we have to write narrative around that. So like they might even make references.
Also has the Citadel DLC, which is just so much fun.
That one was fine. The DLC was
the Omega DLC. The Omega DLC was like, actually, I really, really liked that one too.
That one was pretty good.
Yeah.
So Prij, other than Xenoblade and Borderlands, you got number 3 out of these or not?
What did I have?
I think it actually matters this time.
I actually put Journey just because it was very cool and unique.
Okay. So Elise, where is Mass Effect on yours? Is that your 3?
Make it 2 to. And I don't know which one of Mark of the Ninja and Dishonored are first and third. They're pretty interchangeable in terms of how much I like them all. Really, really love them all.
We got Journey has a 1 and a 3 vote. We've got Mass Effect 3 has a 2 and a 2 vote. And then we have Dishonored and Mark of the Ninja. So I guess tie for Journey and Mass Effect 3? Is that right?
That's fine.
I think that sounds correct.
All right, congrats.
I can live with that.
Journey and Mass Effect 3, you have tied Save Data's Game of the Year.
Yeah.
2012. Folks, that's it. That's as far as we're going to go back. We might do other years later. I don't know. This is just kind of like a fun thing to do. We didn't have to do a ton of prep.
We'll do a repeat episode, but it will be none of the three of us. It will be Chris, Zach, and 8Ball, and then we can have our choices fight each other.
That would honestly be funny. I'm down.
We'll try and see if there's a single matching opinion.
Oh, that would be so funny. God, I want to do that now. That'd be so great. That's gonna do it, folks. Prij or Elise, anything y'all want to plug or talk about?
After we're done, go check out.
I was talking about Horizon Forbidden West, but I gotta wait one more sleep for that. One more sleep and one more day of work for that shit. So I got none.
After we're done, my good buddy Woke Sweetie is streaming Persona 4. If you want to check that out.
Nice. So far is dope.
First time playing it or just replaying it?
Second time, I think.
Okay.
Nice. Prij talked about Horizon Forbidden West. Speaking of, tomorrow, if you're watching live, that's the 18th at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. We'll be doing some first impressions for Horizon Forbidden West. Undetermined if that's just me or me and Zach, or if anyone else is showing up. It might just be me.
No,
you're coming. Okay. Yeah. I thought you were just gonna be playing and not.
No. What I'm gonna do is, I should have an easy day at work tomorrow. So at like halfway through the day, I'm just gonna bring my laptop downstairs and put it and just have it next to me while I start playing. And if someone emails me, I'll pause it.
Excellent.
Because I'll be able to take care of all my important. I'm going to take care of all my. So I will have several hours of gameplay done for Friday nights.
Heck yeah.
And then I also have no plans Saturday and Sunday, so I'll have plenty of time to play it over the weekend.
At least Prij will be joining me.
Yeah, so I don't mind taking a break to chill.
We'll be playing some Horizon Forbidden West. That'll be fun. Next week we've got Around the Monitor. Is next week the 26th, or is that the week after?
A week from Saturday.
So a week from Saturday, February 26th, we have a long, I think, 10-hour stream.
Yeah, about 10. Maybe longer. Who knows? We'll see how we're doing after 10.
We'll see. We'll be doing the community games, the end of the month community stuff at the beginning of that stream, and then transferring into some more Zelda music analysis. Zach would be mad if I didn't mention that. New Zelda music analysis video coming out next Saturday, and then Zach is going to roll that into a Zelda, I believe, Ocarina of Time randomizer.
Yeah, we do another Ocarina of Time randomizer. We'll have some Chaos Jeopardy later in the day, some competitive escape room simulator, most likely.
Some other stuff we haven't decided on.
Yeah, some not for broadcast, potentially. We got some fun stuff and some stuff we haven't figured out yet. So,
so please tune in that day. It will be super fun. I think that does it. So with that, y'all.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you, live chat, for joining with us. It's been fun as always. And thank you, listeners.
Yeah, good chat with you guys.
Listeners, audio, or people watching on YouTube. I don't care which one you do. Please rate us on your audio podcast network of choice. It helps immensely.
Check out some of the games we mentioned.
And go back and check them out.
Some good games came out in the last 10 years.
And then there's the 2014s happened, but every year can't be a 2018, 2017. Can't repeat that every year. So thanks for watching, folks. It's been fun. We'll see you next time.